Welcome to Spilling the Coffee. My name is Zoe.
And I am Emmanuel.
And today we are going to be giving you 5 hacks to get yourself into your dream job.
Awesome.
Emmanuel, did you have any dream job that you wanted to go into before you were into entrepreneurship?
Did I have any dream job? I would say mostly in grad school. In grad school, I wanted to work for Bain so bad. I think it's just because there's such a good consulting strategy company. So I'd have loved to work there to see how multinational companies like Bain help governments and other multinational companies with strategy work. So yeah, Bain. What about you? Any? No?
Right now is just trying to get experience. So a good start at Upkey with my first job is the best experience so far.
But I think the goal for this is to tell students the different ways that they can use the resume to stand out. Because for most students like myself, I went to a much smaller university, and if you go to a smaller university, access to a top company it's not really accessible to you because the competition out there it's pretty bad. So you need to be creative, right? And there are certain little things that if you do, it's going to have an incremental impact, but over a broad scale of things, when you do a lot of them, it has a huge impact on how people look at your resume and how they perceive value, right? Because you want to make sure that the employer sees value. If they don't see it, I'm not gonna call you.
So hack number 1 would be to include your interests, and don't let that just, drive you to include professional interests. Someone really wants to get to know you and your own interests and what makes you an individual. So I think that's really important to start off your resume with.
Yeah, there is this concept in psychology. People want to connect to people. If you want to build trust, you don't build trusted things. You build trust with the people, right?
Right.
Because that's the people, that's the individual you're going to work with. And an interest could be something so generic like soccer, or something as complex as, liberal arts, but you want something that can help that person get to know you a little bit more. But for the employer, when they're bringing you into the company, what else can they connect on with you? So most people love traveling, most people love yoga, most people love meditation. Including those things showcases the other side of your personality.
Right.
So never fail to do that. And hack number 2 would be concise. Be concise not only in your speech, but be concise in your writing.
Right, so I think that you should focus on using bullet points instead of paragraphs, because those can get a little too lengthy and take up too much time. The recruiter or hiring manager is not going to take the time to sit and read through a paragraph.
Yeah, absolutely. And with creating a very concise bullet, that can be very hard, especially for a college student that's a senior, not a lot of experiences. So they kind of like struggling and juggling how to go about being concise. And what you want to do is you want to have a structure to every bullet, and having a structure helps makes that bullet concise and drives the point home.
Right.
So at Upkey, we have this very cool formula that you can use to create a perfect bullet for yourself, and it goes thus: a good action verb, a relevant subject, and a quantifiable result. And when you think about those 3 elements, you think about an action verb. Everybody knows what an action verb is. But the most important part is the tangible result. You want to ensure that you showcase your result using numbers. And when you do that, you realize that you're taking a lot of chunky, irrelevant words out of that bullet to make or build credibility. And it just drives the point home much better. So which leads us into the 3rd point, and the 3rd point is all about credibility, how to build credibility.
So a recruiter is really going to look for a proof of progress in your experience. And with that being said, say you were an intern for a social media agency, you would want to include a statement that said, I increased social media engagement by 150%. That kind of shows your credibility and proves that to the reader.
Yeah, most students will find it challenging to figure out how to get those numbers. And the thing that I encourage students to do is go back to your bosses, the people that you're reporting to, and ask them these questions. With this project that I engaged in, what did I do? How did this impact the bottom line? And how can I extrapolate numbers from that particular project? And they'll help you. Most often, people don't get something because they don't ask, which leads us to the point number 4, or hack number 4. What's hack number 4?
Hack number 4 is precision. So, with that being said, we want to include things that are relevant and including things that can back up the role that you're applying for. So talk about, classes that you did best in that can back up, skills that they're looking for.
Most often students include every single experience that they've had in the past, but look at the job description. What am I going to be doing at X, Y, and Z company? What is the job responsibility? And what are the skills needed to get that job done? And you look back and you find similar experiences that you can match different skills so that the employer can see value.
Right.
What you don't want to do is you don't want to overwhelm the employer, the person reading that resume, because when you do that, you take them all over the place. And guess what? You do not want to give someone more work to do. People don't want to get to read more, they don't want to do more work. So do not do that. Go deep versus spread out.
Right, you want them to know that you're confident in the role you want,
Yeah. And for the final hack, which I think is a very cool hack, a ton of students do not use this, and I think it's something that can be applicable not just to business students or engineering students, but to students across the board, is using hyperlinks. For students, I hope you know what hyperlink is, but if you don't know what a hyperlink is, what's a hyperlink?
It is a link that will send you to another source or a different platform. So for example, LinkedIn is a really popular one that we use. And then, here at Upkey, we provide a video platform for you to practice your elevator speech on, which is great to include in a resume.
When people click those hyperlinks, that means they're interested in you. And if you have, let's say, a portfolio and you use a platform like GitHub or Behance or Dribble, or even like something as generic as LinkedIn, when someone clicks those links and the content there engages them, they become more interested in you because they can see more than the resume can ever showcase. So if you do have a hyperlink, for most creative folks, they always tend to have a hyperlink because they need a portfolio, so they generally have that. But for the other group of students, like marketing students, engineering students, they don't really think about it. But it's something that showcases more than a resume. So it's always good to be strategic about it, of course, don't just include it randomly, but make sure you use your hyperlinks properly. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments, put it in the comment section below. And if this is YouTube, subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell. And it's been awesome talking to you. Thank you for your time. I am Emmanuel.
I'm Zoe.
And make sure you stay tuned for the next Spill in the Coffee. Bye bye. Come on, give me a high five.